Great day learners. In this video we are going to see two of the probability questions from the 0607 past paper. Actually these two questions are worth of 25 marks. Let us see how we are going to solve this, and you will get to know that suppose if it comes in the exam or any other test, then you will get to know how you are going to solve it. Right? Okay, let's start reading the information carefully. The probability that Rashid passes the listening and reading test is 0.9. So listening and reading passing is 0.9, so obviously it says that failing is 0.1. Maybe we can write it here. The probability that Rashid passes the speaking test is 0.8, so failure is 0.2. The probability that Rashid passes the writing test is 0.7, the failure is 0.3. So we are just going to fill these informations in the tree diagram which is given. So for the writing test it is visible, so for passing it is 0.7, so for failing it is 0.3. So this is all for the writing test, so the same we are going to write it in all the places: 0.7, 0.3, 0.7, 0.3 again here, then and down 0.7 and 0.3. And here we know that if this is 0.9, it's going to be 0.1, and if this is 0.8, and we know that failure remaining is 0.2, and in these two places we just have to write this, right? Yeah, so we have filled it. We are just moving on to the next question. To pass the whole examination, Rashid has to pass all the three sets. Calculate the probability that he passes the whole examination. So he should pass all the three tests. So in this you can see it, only this first branch, this branch shows that he passed in all the tests, but in the remaining thing, if you take this, in the writing test he failed, in the speaking test failed, and it has two other branches, so everything has some failures except that first one. But in the question they have mentioned it, to pass the whole examination, Rashid has to pass all the three sets. So the branch what we have circled is what passed everything, and actually it should happen continuously or simultaneously. I mean, here we are just using the product rule. Why? Because it should happen, and it is. What does it mean? And means multiplication is the operation we need to use. So 0.9 into 0.8 into 0.7 is what the probability here. So 0.9 into 0.8 into 0.7. If you put these values in your calculator, we are getting the answer as 0.504 as the decimal answer. If you want, you can even convert that answer into fractions and you can write it. It is 63 divided by 125. It's up to you. Maybe in the further questions I will just give any one of the form, that other format, so you can write it. And just look at here, that fraction no need to be in the simplest form. Here actually I have given the simplest, but it can be even in the unsimplified format, right? Yeah, we'll move on to the next one. If Rashid only fails one test, he can take the test again. Calculate the probability that Rashid needs to take one test again. So if he has to take one test again, he must have failed in one test and only once. Okay, right? Only fails one test. So in the previous tree diagram, this one actually we just have to leave it because that passed in all the category. So in what are the branches, there is a single failure that we need to identify it. So this is the first branch, we are just identifying it, double pass and one failure. And next, in everything we can take it because it has so many branches. So instead of marking like this, maybe I can do this. This is one, and this pass fail pass, because even here single pass, I mean single fail. They mentioned if he failed only once, it can be in any test, it no need to be in the last writing test, it can be in any of the tests, but the other two tests should be passed. So this is the one of the branch, and if fail is happened, pass and pass should happen, because further failure will give a two failures, but in the question they mentioned it clearly, only single failure is allowed, so that he can retake that test alone and he can pass it. So what are the probabilities? 0.9, 0.8, 0.3. So in the branches what I have mentioned, that probabilities I should multiply it, and each values I should add it, because this or this or this, These three are the options, and we will be using either this way or this way or this way. Since I'm using the word or here, I need to add these probabilities, but to reach a single failure I should use the multiplication, because this 0.9 and 0.8 and 0.3, it should happen. So first one is 0.9 into 0.8 into 0.3. So this value is 0.216. If you have a doubt that whether I'm writing the right probabilities or not, maybe you can just go back and just note down the values in your note and you can check. Next one is 0.9 into 0.2 into 0.7. This value is 0.126. Then third one is 0.1 into 0.8 into 0.7. This gives 0.056. If you add all the three probabilities, we are getting the answer as 0.398. Actually, it's simple, but we are getting 4 marks. Yeah, you just have to understand what is the question that has been asked here. Calculate the probability that Rashid needs to take one test again. To take one test again, he must have failed only one test. So those branches we just have taken and we added all the values. So we got the probability finally. Yeah. Then we are moving on to the next question. In a survey, 40 students are asked if they like football, F, and if they like baseball, B, and 22 like football, 19 like baseball, and 6 do not like either football or baseball. So in the previous video, if you have seen, then you might have understood the method what I'm going to use it now. If it is not, you can watch that video and come back. I will give that video's link in the description. So now to find out this common part intersection part value, what we have to do is, what is a F union B? I mean, this set value alone, what is that we need to check it. So to check that, what we have to do, since in the total 46 have gone, so remaining value is 34 actually. So the 34 is the value it has to be, but here how much we have, 22 and 19, if you add, it is 51, right? So sorry, 22, 41 we are getting, sorry. If 41 is the value we are getting, but it has to be 34, which means what is the difference? That difference is what common. So 41 minus 34 is 7. So 7 will be in this place. Do you get it? How we have to do? How we got this 34, this 40, and none of them, I mean out of these two box, what is the value is there, that will be subtracted, so that we'll get to know what value of the two sets has to be. It is 34, and by adding the two individual sets value, we are getting it as 41. Then 41 minus 34 gives 7, so 7 will be here. Now we can fill the remaining values easily. How it is, just look at here. They mentioned 22 like football, but 7 of them like both, so that remaining, I mean that remaining 15 students will be liking only football. 7 students like football and baseball, and out of 19, 7 like both football and baseball. So the remaining students, 12, 19 minus 7, 12, will like only the baseball, right? It's simple, and if you fill it, we will be getting 3 marks here, and we'll move on to the next one. How many of these students like both football and baseball? So both is nothing but 7. We'll write it simply, either like football or do not like baseball. Actually, this is one of the tricky question. You just have to read it again. So read it carefully. Either like football. So how many of them like football? This set fully 15 plus 7, 22. Right? Then do not like baseball. Who do not like baseball? Actually, this 12 and 7 likes baseball. So the remaining, what is remaining? This 15 and 6 does not like or do not like the baseball. Since that 15 we have added it already, we'll be adding the remaining 6 alone. Why? Because in a set no elements can be repeated twice. So 22 plus 6 is 28. I will explain once again all this. So just see here, first they mentioned it's a football. How many like football? It is actually 15 students and 7 students. I'm just this is not element, actually it's number of element, but I'm writing it, or I'm writing with underlined one. So like football is 15 and 7, and do not like baseball is who do not like baseball? This circle fully like baseball. So this remaining is do not like baseball. So it is 15 and 6. And or they have used, which means it is nothing but union means we'll be writing it together. Since 15 has been written already, only 115 will come and 17 will come, and only 17 is there, and 16 that will come. So if you add everything together, you will be getting the answer as 28. So like football is totally 22. Do not like the baseball is this 15 plus 6 students, but this 15 we have added them already, so the remaining 6 will be on the board. So totally 22 plus 6, 28 is they do not like baseball and they like football, right? And F intersection B dash, F intersection B dash says that pure F value, because F has no bar and intersection is operation, so it is pure value, that is nothing but 15. Got it? Yeah. So we'll move on to the next question. Two of the students chosen at random find the property that both like football. So we are going to select the student from the football. Football means don't take only this 15, actually this 15 plus 7 together they like football, so we should take. They did not mention only like football, which means we should consider this 15, but they mentioned just football, which means the total set of football we need to consider. So actually total number of students what we have to consider is two of these students. So two of the above discussed students, so that is 40 students are there. Two of the students are getting selected, which means for when you are selecting the first students, you'll be having 40 option, but once you select the first person, when you're taking him out, there will be remaining 39 students to select, so that number of chances are going to be 39. And the success is first time it will be having a 22, because 22 of the students like football, and since you have taken that one like football like person outside, so that remaining person are going to be 21. So 22 by 40 into 21 by 39 is the probability. How did I get? Since we are choosing the two students at random, and also we are not sending them back, we are not repeating, I mean we are not putting them back into the classroom or something. So first student, to select the first student will be having so many options, that is 40, the total options will be having it, but for the second one will be having only 39. And the first, to get the first success 22, since we got the success one already, that second success is going to be 21. Why it is success? Because this 22 is the persons who like football. And if you put these values in your calculator, and we are getting 77 divided by 260 as answer. Right here, maybe you can even give in a decimal, it's up to you, no problem. So you just check whether your answer is similar to this or equal to this. Yeah, we'll go to the next subdivision. One of the 19 students who like baseball is chosen at random. So we have only 19 students from the baseball. So now our selection set is only this circled set. So 19 is what previously we had chosen from the old set, but now we are selecting from 19. And find the probability that the student also likes football. So also likes football means this 7 students. So 7 success out of 19 chances, so 7 out of 19 is the probability. Next one is two of the 19 students who like baseball are chosen at random. So by seeing this word itself, we can write the first will be having 19 options, second will be having only 18 options. Find the probability that one likes football and one does not like football. The previous one we just have written that the liking probability of football is 7, and the next time when we are writing whether we need to write 6 or something, no, because that another one is does not like football. How many does not like, I mean how many do not like football? It is 12 students. Whether we need to write 12 or 11, maybe you are getting confused, right? No, actually it is 12, because you just see here there is a classroom, and in the classroom two colors, I mean two t-shirt colored students are inside. One is blue and another one is green. So one student you have taken it, I mean one student you have taken out. Actually 7 students were blue. So see here 7 students were blue, 12 students were green. one students you have taken for blue means the green strength will remain as same, so that since it is from the second set, it is for the green one or do not like football, it will remain as same, the 12, but the total number obviously it will get reduced. And this can happen in two different ways, because initially they did not mention that order, that first student is football, second student is not football, that like that they did not mention it, so that it can happen in any way, like first one is a football and then second one is non-football student, or first one is non-football, second one is football. So to write, to cover both the options, we are just multiplying it by 2, and our answer is answer what we are getting in the calculator is 28 divided by 57. The equivalent value of fractions are accepted, right? So another n students take part in the survey, they all like both baseball and football. So actually they are continuing the survey, and they are adding n students. Already there are 40 students, yeah, they mentioned it here. Now they added n students, so it is 40 plus n. And how many students, like actually now they have added n students, right? They all like both football and baseball. Previously only 7 students like baseball and football, and now how many like n plus the existing, because total number is n plus the existing. This is what the probability that a student likes both football and baseball is 5 by 16. Why they gave the probability? Why they did not ask us to find? Because that n is not a number, it's just a variable, so we will not be able to find a perfect probability. But they gave the probability, which means they are asking the value of n. So what is the probability of the students like both football and baseball? How many chances? Actually n plus 40. How many success? There were 7 students before, now we added n, so n plus 7 equals 5 divided by 16. And if you cross multiply the things, you will get simplified one. And sorry, I have written 15, it is not 15, it is 5 by 16. When you're cross multiplying the things to solve this, so 16 into n is going to be 16n, 16 into 7 is 112, and that is equal to 5 into n, 5n, and 5 into 40 is 200. Now 16n and minus 5n, because we are just bringing the positive 5n to this left side, so it will become negative, and 200 plus 112 will become minus 112, and if you subtract that, we are getting 88, and here if you subtract, we are getting 11n, so n value must be 8. 88 by 11, it is 8. So that's what they are asking, and we found it. Next one is shade the region f dash union b dash. F dash union b dash. Just see here, if you want to shade f dash, so this is f and this is b, f dash you have to shade, then actually you will shade everything. This everything you will shade except f. Then in the next case, if you have to shade b dash, so b dash if you have to shade, you will shade all the f, right? And you will leave the b alone. Now actually the operation between them is union, which means if it has been shaded in the one of the part, you will be taking it. So if you see it in both the cases, they shaded outside. Also in this they have shaded pure f, in this they have shaded pure b, but in both the cases only that intersection part is not shaded. But overall, if when we are combining it, except this remaining everything has been shaded, so we'll shade everything else except the intersection part, right? Why it is? Because in the first case pure b is shaded, and in the second case pure f is shaded, but in both the cases nothing, I mean the intersection part is not shaded, so except that remaining everything we are shading it, and that's it. Yeah, we have finished the questions for 25 marks. I hope this video is useful, and if you want any other useful videos in mathematics, and either in 0607 or 0580, you can let me know in the comments. I'm ready to put the video for that. Thank you so much. Please subscribe my channel, share it with your friends, and make use of your academics. Thank you for watching. Bye.